Starting off strong, these are two urban legends from Tucson, Arizona. This first legend is the legend of La Llorona. There are many different versions to this story, but I'm going to be starting off with the common one about a woman who is abandoned by her husband, who falls in love with another woman, abandoning her and her children. The heartbroken woman then throws her children off a bridge, ultimately drowning them before she offs herself. People have supposedly seen her all around the city, but most commonly around the Santa Cruz River where this supposedly took place. This second legend takes place at Hotel Congress. This building is one of the oldest buildings in Tucson, built in 1919. It has endured a fire, the death of staff, the death of guests, and it was the place where they captured an infamous bank robber named John Dillinger. You could probably only imagine the crazy stuff people have seen at this hotel. Also, don't forget to comment your hometown because this whole series is doing urban legends from where you guys live. Typically, the top comment is the one that I'm going to be doing first, but I will be trying my best to get through them all. Stay spooked. Urban legends from your hometown, San Antonio, Texas. And today we're going to be talking about the Terrell Castle. As beautiful as this building may be, it also holds many terrible tragedies. It was built for Edwin Holland Terrell and was designed after old European castles. The castle remained a source of pride for Terrell until his unfortunate death in 1910 after suffering from syphilis. Fortunately, he couldn't handle it anymore and decided to shoot himself in the head, but did not get the right shot and took him 10 days of suffering before he finally died. In World War II, it was split into apartments for military families. At that time, a man discovered his wife in bed with another man. He then killed the other man before throwing his wife off the stairwell from the 3rd floor. And now it serves as a wedding venue / hotel. Okay, Texas. Tag some friends who you'd force to stay at this hotel with you. And don't forget to comment your hometown if you want to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. The ominous woman in white. According to locals, a murder took place many years ago at Bakersfield Central Park. A woman in a white dress was seen dead floating down a canal riddled with bullet holes. The killer was never found, the woman was never identified, but yet everybody claims to have seen her. She is dressed from a different time period, and people say that she is typically holding a rose or a children's toy. Other people say that she has a sinister smile covered across her whole entire face and blank white eyes. And apparently if you stare into her eyes long enough, she will capture your soul. It is also believed that she haunts these grounds looking for the person who killed her since nobody else was able to identify him. Don't forget to comment where your hometown is so you can be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Also, drop a follow and a like if you'd like to continue seeing more. Stay spooked. If you think you haven't heard any crazy stories from Fresno, prepare for this one, because there's video evidence. Back in the late 90s / early 2000s, weird sightings of a strange cryptid have been seen around Fresno, California. However, in 2007, a surveillance video caught these strange creatures on camera with really long legs and small heads. I'm going to be inserting the video in like 2 seconds, so you have been warned. The show Fact or Faked actually did an episode on these creatures to see if they were real or not. These professional paranormal investigators could find no evidence that this was faked in any sort of way. They deemed these creatures to be completely unexplainable, and some people even call them the protectors of the forest. What makes these creatures super eerie is the fact that we don't even know what they stemmed from, what their origin story is, where they came from, what they are, why they exist. But they do continue to pop up around this area, so if somebody was faking this, they would have to be really persistent. Don't forget to comment your hometown so you can be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Back in the early 1900s, one of the most terrifying insane asylums was built. This place is filled with tortured souls, and it lies right on the corner of Edith and Osuna Street. Their medical practices were completely unethical, and their security was not any better. Dr. Samuels, for example, experimented on over 97 patients, leaving their bodies kept in secrecy, hidden away in the basement. There's another story of a patient breaking loose from the guards and killing most of the people in the building, both staff and patients. The institution was later shut down, thankfully, but that did not stop people from trying to sneak in and explore the abandoned remains. But those who were brave enough to explore this abandoned building found that there were black, thick clouds following them, and one person was even mysteriously stabbed in the leg with nobody else in the building. And just a couple years ago, the building was finally torn down for good. But those who walk on the grounds even after it was torn down still experience paranormal activity. Leave your hometown in the comments if you want to be next. There are so many terrifying things in San Francisco, whether paranormal or real. However, at Stowe Lake, there's definitely some paranormal stuff going on. I'll even be talking about my own personal experience there. Back in the early 1900s, there was a lady walking her baby in a stroller around Golden Gate Park. She took a seat on one of the benches and another lady walked up and they started talking. After talking for a while, the lady noticed that her baby and the stroller was gone. She walked all over Golden Gate Park looking for her baby until the early hours in the night, asking almost every single person, "Have you seen my baby?" And the last place she checked, she went inside the lake and she was never seen again. Ever since then, people say they have seen the ghost of the lady walking around the lake or inside the lake. Other people have claimed that the statue in honor of her has even come to life. Now, as for my personal experience, it was way different. I got off of work at like 2 in the morning and decided to go explore Golden Gate Park at night. And that is when I saw a ghostly woman dragging a dead body, and that's when I never went back. Leave your hometown in the comments. La Plaza Mansion. Although it's a beautiful property, it has a very ugly past and is often referred to as Satan's Mansion. Built in 1959, this now abandoned structure was once the former home of a gangster, which Vegas was known for, which you can also check out the Haunted Mob Museum. But back to the mansion, which is completely ripe with paranormal activity. A former resident even claimed to be strangled by an evil spirit. Over the years, it has been a site for gruesome mob murders and even has secret rooms inside. Due to the crazy past that it had, unfortunately it is now off limits to the public today and nobody can get inside. It has been put on the market a couple of times after these incidents, but as you could probably guess, it completely failed. Be sure to leave your hometown down in the comments below so you can be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. Albinos, demons, and ghost cars can all be spotted down Hicks Road in San Jose, California, located near the Almaden-Quicksilver County Park. Besides the fact that there have been naked albinos seen around this road, lurking in the woods, trying to lure you in or trying to chase you out, there is also known to be a devil's door down this road. It is said to be this giant rock with a big red door painted on it, supposedly used as a portal to hell. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to get out of my car down that road, let alone find the devil's door. In my opinion, the creepiest part of this road is it goes from paved road to dirt road at the very end of it and is a one-way lane. And supposedly, if you keep following that all the way up into the mountains, that is where you find the creepy huts where the albinos live. It's also a 10-minute drive from Oak Ridge Mall, so like tag your friends, go to Oak Ridge Mall with them, and then take them down a haunted road. Also, don't forget to put your hometown in the comments so you can be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. Black Angel statue in Iowa serves as a symbol of sadness for a woman who lost both her young son and her husband. Now, when this statue was first built, it looked like any other normal statue. However, it very quickly started turning black, starting with her eyes. Now, the two main theories of why the statue turned black revolve around the lady who put it up. Some say that she was a witch, and others say that when she died, a curse was put on the statue. One story goes that there was a man who was very skeptical of the statue and decided to visit it with a group of friends. They dared him to touch it, and he did, and supposedly within seconds he had a massive heart attack and died at the scene. There's another story of a pregnant lady who walked right underneath the statue's wing, and it wasn't too short after that she had a miscarriage. And tragically, that has happened to multiple pregnant women who have walked around or touched the statue. Tag some friends down in the comments below who you'd take with you to go visit this statue, and also don't forget to comment your hometown if you want to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. Just a quick walk down Coombs Cemetery in Sabattus, Maine lies one of the most chilling urban legends I've ever heard of. Back in the mid-1900s, a group of teens dared a boy to be lowered down a well, which was reported to be super haunted, but the boy really wanted to impress his friend, so he accepted the challenge. The boy was lowered into the well, sitting on top of a rubber tire for several minutes before the other boys could not see him anymore. When the other teenage boys found out that there was no more movement coming from the rope, they decided to pull him back up, only to find that the boy had changed drastically. The boy's hair had turned completely white and he was entirely shaking, unable to form coherent sentences. He started laughing insanely and his body looked as if he had aged by 50 years. And supposedly you can still hear his laughter from the county mental asylum where he now sits. Share this with a friend who you'd want to go to the cemetery with, and leave a comment of your hometown if you want to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Actual haunted house located on Devil's Road in Pennsylvania. It was home to an extremely wealthy and incestuous family who resorted to inbreeding because they wanted to keep the family fortune to themselves. They even had their own cult house built next to the mansion where the incestual marriages would take place, and as a place to hide the inbred offspring that ended up being deformed. What's also really interesting is that the trees in the area are completely bent away from the house. What makes that interesting is that the legend has it that even the trees are trying to get away from the home. No matter which way you are going, the trees will always point away from the home. There have also been reports of piles of animal corpses, and these weird creatures with pale skin and glowing red eyes. Don't forget to share this with a friend if you would go here with them, and put your hometown in the comments if you want to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked! Chaco Pass, otherwise known as Blood Alley, right next to Los Banos, California. This stretch of road is haunted for so many reasons, but mainly because of the amount of car crashes that happen on this road almost on the daily. However, some of the victims never left. Most reports include a decapitated man searching for his head, a man in a black robe on the highway, and a woman in a wedding dress after her fiancé died in a car accident. After the accident, she went to the top of the rocks next to the dam and decided to jump off. There are also reports of a woman searching for her missing child. However, when you get out of your vehicle to help her, she will disappear. This is also a road that I have been on before, and I can guarantee that there are lots of accidents that happen on this road. As always, leave your hometown in the comments below if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. The Wincoff Hotel fire, known as the Titanic of hotels, taking over 119 lives. Known as the Titanic of hotels because it was said to be fireproof, so nobody installed any emergency doors or fire escapes. But lo and behold, in 1946, the Wincoff Hotel caught fire. And it is rumored that a local criminal was the actual one who set fire to the hotel. After the fire, they later named this place the Ellis Hotel. Now employees of the Ellis Hotel have reported seeing ghosts and missing tools. The creepiest thing though is for a couple weeks straight, the fire alarm would go off every single night at 2:48 in the morning. However, let me backtrack just a little bit. Back in 1946 when the fire was going on, some people were so desperate to get out that they would jump out of the balcony windows, and some even throwing their children first. This is probably one of the most craziest ones that I've talked about. But I want to know even more crazy stories, so leave your hometown or tell me an urban legend that you want me to cover if you want me to be featured in the next urban legend video. Siren's Bridge in Wisconsin is a tragic, true story which makes it even more chilling. Back in the 1980s, a mom, a dad, and their young daughter were driving down this bridge. Due to the snow, the tires slipped on the ice and completely went over the bridge. Their spirits still roam around this bridge, however in a very cautionary way. There have been many reports of people who have driven down this bridge saying that they get a very eerie sensation. But probably the creepiest thing that people experience down this bridge, the radio will cut out and you will hear the voice of a little girl saying, "Mommy, help, I can't get out." As eerie as this may be, please just be careful when driving under any hazardous weather conditions. And as always, put your hometown in the comments if you want to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked! Welcome to the abandoned city of Helltown, Ohio, filled with plenty of dangerous roads that seem to lead to nowhere. And the big white church which helped to name this town due to the amount of murderous events that happened there. Now, this is an actual abandoned ghost town, and there are many theories as to why it's abandoned. However, the most popular one is because of a government chemical spill. And it seems like almost everything here has its own personal dark legend. Even this school bus, which was supposedly hijacked by an insane serial killer that slaughtered all of the children on it. And supposedly, if you peer through the windows of the bus, you can still see the ghost of the killer and all of the children inside. And apparently there is a large underground building found within the town limits that the government used for research on something that they eventually lost control of. Share this with a friend who you would go to Helltown with. And don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. This is Bunny Man's Bridge. As funny as his name may seem, this is probably one of the most disturbing stories I've ever read. This all starts back in the 1970s when a group of convicts were going from one insane asylum to another by bus when it crashed under this bridge. Most of them were shot or killed or put back on the bus, but one actually escaped. When the police went back to the site to investigate, they found nothing except for a whole bunch of half-eaten rabbits. In 1982, there is a very disturbing photo found behind a restaurant inside of a dumpster of a man in a bunny suit carrying a dead body. I'm not going to be sharing this photo because it is very disturbing, however it is on the internet if you guys really want to see. A couple years later, the bunny man was actually confronted and cornered before being hit by a train. Now, although the real bunny man might be dead, there are still so many reports to this day of people seeing his spirit roaming around. Especially on Halloween night, on a full moon, like this year, you might see the bunny man carrying an axe. Deep inside the Meeman Shelby Forest State Park lies many oddities. Now, this is something right outside of Nashville, but definitely worth the drive. This forest has over 13,000 acres of land and is also home to many ghosts. However, it's not the ghosts in this park that you have to look out for. It's the Pigman. There are countless stories of him wandering around in the dead of night wearing the face of a pig. He's always on the lookout for his next victim, and if you want to summon him, there's a way. Pigman's Bridge. He's most known to come out on a full moon, and if you park your car on this bridge and flash your lights while calling out Pigman 3 times, he will come. So share this with a friend who you take with you to Pigman's Bridge or tag him in the comments. And if you want to be featured in the next Urban Legends video, just drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is and I will get to it. Stay spooked. In Jacksonville lies one of the most haunted schools in all of Florida, deemed the Devil's School. This school lies just off of Interstate 10 and has a very disturbing past. There are tales of a deranged custodian who went on a raging killing spree, a principal with cannibalistic tendencies towards the students, and the mysterious furnace explosion that ended it all, killing many of the students and staff. The majority of people who have visited the Devil's School have claimed to hear really weird, disembodied voices and have seen very odd shadows. Some people have even seen the ghosts reenacting the killings that they did in their waking life. And on top of it all, there have been so many reports of satanic rituals that have happened here. The spiritual energy at this school is insane. Would you attend the Devil's School? Tag and share this with a friend if you would go there with them, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked. In Houston, Texas lies the Tinseltown Theater, which used to be an old trailer park. However, after the trailer park was unfortunately burned down in 1971, the property was purchased to build a movie theater. However, it is believed that the people who perished in the fire still haunt the theater to this day. And apparently over the years, more malevolent spirits have taken over. Many people have stated that while at the theater, they have seen the ghost of a man beheading a young boy with a machete. There have also been many other reports of a different boy who likes to hide in the storage closet. And even people who haven't seen the actual apparitions of these ghosts do claim that they feel like there is constantly somebody watching them while they're at this theater, as well as the employees who have also heard and experienced weird things. Don't forget to share this with a friend who you would go with, and also drop a follow and a comment telling me where your hometown is if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked. Just north of Phoenix lies one of the most haunted cities in all of Arizona, nicknamed the Ghost City because the spirits outnumber the actual residents. Back in the early 30s, the Jerome Grand Hotel used to be a mining hospital. Due to all the mining accidents and tuberculosis at the time, over 9,000 people died at this hospital, almost one a day. In 1994, it was turned into the Jerome Grand Hotel, which is still open today, where guests constantly check out in the middle of the night due to seeing weird things, apparitions, hearing voices, whispers, and weird noises. But one of the most haunted rooms in the hotel would have to be room 32. That is a room where unfortunately many people have died with absolutely no known cause or explanation, or who the killer could have been in certain cases. So, would you check into the Jerome Grand Hotel? Share this with a friend who you'd want to go with, and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. The mysterious Casket girls of New Orleans. During the colonization of New Orleans, a group of French girls were sent to the Ursuline convent to get ready for marriage arrangements. When the French girls first arrived here, they came carrying coffin-shaped chests. These chests were placed in the attic of the convent, and overnight all the contents in all of the chests mysteriously disappeared. The nuns feared that it was due to a demonic presence and had all of the chests nailed shut and the whole attic blessed by a priest. Now here's where it takes a gruesome turn. In 1978, 2 reporters broke into the attic trying to crack open the coffin-shaped chest to see if there's anything still left inside of them. But the next morning, they were found dead on this staircase with decapitated bodies and all of their blood drained. And to this day, nobody knows how it happened or who did it. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked. The Haunted Clarion House Challenge. In this abandoned house in Clarion, Iowa, there's a challenge where if you go inside that house and find any photo on the ground, take it home and sleep with it, when you wake up the next morning, the photo will be gone. When you go back to that house, that same photo will be in the exact spot where you found it. But that's not all. The photo will also have a new shadow figure somewhere in the picture. And legend has it that that mysterious shadow is supposed to be the spirit of you. Now, as creepy as this is, I could not find any research about who owned this house before, why it's haunted, and why there would be a shadow figure in the photo. While some people believe that as proof to be fake, others see it as an added mysterious factor. Now, unfortunately, as of last year, this house has been torn down, so nobody can do the challenge anymore. But supposedly the grounds are still super haunted. As always, drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. This is the house of the infamous serial killer Dorothea Puente. She ran a boarding house where she preyed on the elderly and the mentally disabled, then cashing in their social security checks. Her murders resulted in 9 confirmed kills and 6 unconfirmed. This is a picture of what she looks like, and she later became known as the Death House Landlady. After murdering each victim, she would then bury them in her backyard. This is a picture of what the inside of the house looks like, and I'll also be placing the address just above since it is now on public display. You can also take tours of this house, and many people have claimed that they could feel the dark energy of Dorothea inside. Some people also say that they have seen the spirit of the victims. Also, there is a documentary on Dorothea in case some of you guys would like to learn more. As always, don't forget to follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked! Everybody knows about the Bermuda Triangle, but did you know that Michigan actually has its own? This cursed body of water lies right here in this section of Lake Michigan, with the state itself being right here. With the abnormal shipwrecks and plane disappearances starting as early as the 1600s. What makes this even more weird is that when the skies are clear, that is when bad things are supposed to happen. So all these disappearances and wreckages are not related to weather. Now, besides the hundreds of stories of ships disappearing and the wreckages never even being found, at the bottom of this lake is Michigan's own Stonehenge. It's a weird perfect circle of stone with one rock in the middle, which has been proven to not be a part of any ship. Also at the bottom of this lake lies a cross. And the weirdest part of this being it looks like it was actually built into the bottom of the ocean, not something that could have just sunk or fell off a ship. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave your hometown in the comments if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked! The Haunted Cecile Hotel in Los Angeles, California. If the outside looks familiar to you, it's because it's what inspired American Horror Story Hotel, along with the many other tragedies that happened here, with the most well-known one being the death of Elisa Lam. In January of 2013, Elisa Lam checked into the hotel and went missing that same day. Elevator surveillance shows her walking in, almost appearing to be hiding from somebody. The footage continues with her running out as if she's scared for her life, which was also the last documented place that she was seen. Weeks later, guests started complaining that the water from their sink tasted like metal. And when employees went to go check the water tanks, they ended up finding her dead body. And still to this day, nobody knows who did it or how her body got in the water tank. There are so many urban legends in Los Angeles, so if you guys do want me to do more on Los Angeles, let me know and I can definitely do that. But as always, drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked! Half Moon Bay, California is home to some crazy paranormally active places. Just for starters, there's a road that you can take to get there that is absolutely terrifying, taking you from San Mateo to Half Moon Bay through this dense and dark forest. There have been many reports of a blue lady haunting this forest, strange creatures with long arms, and dead bodies strewn throughout the bushes. However, when you get close to the bodies, they mysteriously disappear. Then, once you're actually in Half Moon Bay, you can take Purisima Creek Road. Down Purisima Creek, you will find abandoned houses, the spirit of a farmer and his dead daughter, and you just might run into the blue lady again. Plus, there's even a haunted and debatably abandoned cemetery from people from the 1800s. Personally, being down this road, I can say that it leads you to the start of this long and windy, super steep hill where there is so much fog it's hard to even see. Don't forget to share this with a friend and tag them in the comments, and leave your hometown in the comments if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked! Washington Northern State Hospital was the cause of thousands of deaths where poor souls still linger. Some dying from natural causes, but most dying in inhumane ways, such as strenuous labor, electroshock therapy gone too far, botched lobotomies, complications from forced sterilization, and some were just straight out murdered. With the amount of death and despair linked to the property, it is no wonder that this is one of the most haunted places in Washington. As if it couldn't get any crazier, some of the most common sightings are a nurse pushing a male patient in a wheelchair accompanied with disembodied screaming, and another patient who likes to throw anything that he can find in the building at you. Share this with a friend who you think you would be brave enough to go to this place with, as well as drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. Just outside of Denver, Colorado lies one of the most haunted roads in the United States. Down Riverdale Road, you will find bloody handprints, phantom cars, demonic activity, and so much more, including skinwalkers. In the early construction days of building this road, there was a man who went insane doing so. He felt like he was losing his mind and burned down his whole house with his wife and children inside. And supposedly that spot now is known as the Gates to Hell. Also around this area lies a bunch of buildings that have now been abandoned where people have found headless animals inside, along with growling and footsteps when getting closer. Other people have also seen ghostly apparitions of people being hung by their neck and swinging from the trees. And lastly, most often people see the phantom car of a Camaro with one headlight out, challenging you to a race that will ultimately end in death. Share this with a friend who you'd be brave enough to go down this road with, and always leave a follow and a comment telling me where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. A witch of Connecticut known as Hanna Cranna, who cursed her neighbors, practiced witchcraft on them, killed her husband, and even predicted her own death. Hanna was born in 1783 and married Captain Joseph Hovey. It all started when Hanna put a curse on her husband for no known reason, which made him keep walking and walking until he eventually fell off a cliff. After her husband's death, she used witchcraft on her neighbors to get firewood and food from them in order to stay alive. There's also a story of a guy who went fishing in her body of water, and when she found out about it, she cursed him and he apparently never caught a fish again from anywhere. However, the weirdest thing is she told her neighbor one day that she was going to die soon. And when she died, she wanted her coffin to be carried by hand. She also put a curse on her house so that it would burst into flames if anybody tried getting in after she died. Even weirder is that due to transportation difficulties, they actually did have to carry her by hand. And her house did eventually burst into flames when somebody tried to go back. And now she is buried at Gregory Four Corners Cemetery. In Florida, there are two haunted cemeteries with two terrifyingly creepy tales. The first one is the Witch's Grave at Old City Cemetery. Elizabeth Graham died in 1889 and was buried in a very unique and ornate grave. When she was alive, there were rumors of her being a witch. However, it's what's on her grave that truly sealed the deal for most people. There's a poem on her grave with one of the lines containing the phrase doubly dead, which is in correlation to witches can only be dead once they are killed twice. And her grave is facing west, which is apparently contrary to Christian tradition. The second tale starts in the Casadega Cemetery. There lies a chair where rumor has it that the devil himself built. Supposedly every full moon at midnight, if you place a beer on the chair or near it, supposedly when you come back the next morning, the bottle will be entirely empty, yet everything will be completely sealed. And yes, it even works for cans too, with no punctures to the can. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment telling me where your hometown is if you would like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. Marsh Road in Milpitas, California is not just an urban legend, but a real documented murder case. November 3rd, 1981, Marcy Conrad, who was 14, was murdered by her then-boyfriend Anthony Broussard, who was 16 years old. Her body was thrown in his pickup truck and tossed down Marsh Road, and autopsy had shown that he had also raped her. After dumping her body on Marsh Road, he then invited his friends to view her corpse and bragged about what he had done. It took 2 days for one of his friends to break down and notify the police what happened. However, legend has it that if you go down this road at night, you can still hear her screams and cries for help. But this road has been closed off for a while, so it is a little hard to get to. But this story blew up so quickly, they even made a movie about it called The River's Edge with Keanu Reeves in it. And if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is. Be safe out there and stay spooked. This is gonna be a whole ass stretch, but like, don't come at me. Apparently in the Napa County, there have been sightings of rebobs, which are flying monkeys. Like, just straight out of the Wizard of Oz. They're supposed to be part monkey, part human, part robot with bat's wings. I mean, the Bay Area is known for its advances in technology and science. And apparently if you go all the way to the end of Patrick's Road, which is on the north side of the Golden Gate Bridge, you will see them with fangs, and they're hiding in the trees and they're covered in branches, and apparently they'll attack you, but you have to go and find them first. But I guess it just started as an experiment gone wrong back in the 50s and 60s, and now they're these flesh-eating monkey robot human creatures. So yeah, drop a follow, leave a comment, let me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. I'm getting this comment a lot to do San Jose, and I've already done so many. I honestly think I've done just about all of them. So instead, I'm just gonna make this like a compilation video of every single urban legend in San Jose. There's the ghost truck of San Felipe Road. There's the legend of Dottie's Pond, who killed her parents. Mount Hamilton Road is a very scary road. There's the albinos of Hicks Road. In neighboring areas, there's Marsh Road in Milpitas, which I just did a video on. Tunitas Creek in Half Moon Bay. Harissima Road in Half Moon Bay. The haunted forest of Silver Creek Linear Park, which is also in San Jose. And I think that's really awesome that you guys are suggesting San Jose, because like, I know all the spooky places there. There are lots of other areas there that I will talk about eventually about my own personal experience. But for right now, I'm probably gonna stop with the San Jose ones. And if you are gonna go to Dottie's Pond, if you just type in Santa Teresa Springs and park on Manila Drive, that's gonna be the closest place to park to get there. Literally, it's right out front. Also, I see all of your comments. The series is going to be very long, so if you just keep commenting, I promise I'll get to it. Thank you so much for all your support, and I promise I'll see you very soon. Puerto Rico, the supposed birthplace of the chupacabra. The word itself supposedly translates to goat sucker in Spanish, which is in correlation to what these vampire-like creatures do. One of the first few sightings started in March of 1995 when 8 sheep were found dead with bite marks on their chest and completely drained of blood. 5 months later, over 150 farm animals in Puerto Rico had been found dead in the same exact manner. People describe it as a hairless, dog-like animal that walks on 4 legs and looks like it has burnt skin with a very gaunt body. Somebody supposedly caught one on camera, but in my honest personal opinion, I think that looks more like a skinwalker than anything. And now it seems that these creatures are more in the southern parts of North America and Mexico, and they don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. As always, don't forget to follow and leave a comment if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. Goldbrook Bridge, also known as Emily's Bridge, supposedly haunted by a broken-hearted girl. Legend has it that Emily was in a relationship with a guy who her parents did not approve of. So she would sneak out every night to meet him at this bridge, and he never showed up. She was so heartbroken that she decided to hang herself from the rafters in the bridge. Many visitors who have come across this bridge have said that they felt like they were being scratched or grabbed, and even their cars would have scratch marks on it out of nowhere. Many people have also heard the sound of footsteps, the rope swinging, and even screams. Lots of people have even seen her manifest her ghost out of thin air. People have also caught many photos with a strange mist and 2 orbs on the bridge. This is also another photo of the strange mist, but from a distance. Be sure to share this with a friend if you would go here with them. Also, drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. 110,000 square feet of abandoned haunted property lies the Nopaming Sanitarium in Minnesota. Opening in 1912, this property was the first sanatorium in Minnesota to treat tuberculosis patients. And not too shortly after, paranormal activities started floating around the place. First starting off with a haunted tricycle. Apparently, every single time somebody tried taking a picture of it, it would either move, face different direction, or be closer or further away from the caution tape. There's also a spirit of a young girl attached to the tricycle where people can hear her giggling and some even see her in the hallways. Also, in the surgical wing on the 5th floor is said to be the most haunted spot in the building, where people have seen more apparitions, whispers, voices, screaming, and others have heard these weird, unexplainable banging sounds. You can even buy a ticket to book a tour of this place, so definitely tag a friend or share this with a friend who you would go with. And if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment and let me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. Purple Church, which used to be an actual church where now only a slab of concrete leading into the basement remains. Down Douglas Street in Spencer, Oklahoma, you will find this. A place where people have known to get possessed, practice satanic rituals, and see dead animal carcasses. Visitors have also reported weird whispers and being touched and scratched and pulled out of the cellar, along with a lot of other events that people are too afraid to even speak of. Now, this place is also on private property, so be very careful when going because it is heavily monitored. But most people seem to agree that if you just talk to the people, they'll give you permission to go in. Share this with a friend who you'd be brave enough to go in here with. However, please do be very careful if you do decide to go. And if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment, let me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. The deranged GoatMan of Maryland, who is half goat, half man, and kills teenagers, eats dogs, and screams like a goat. The first media sighting of the GoatMan started in 1971 when a family accused the GoatMan of killing their dog. But honestly, the most terrifying aspect is how deep this legend goes. The USDA was forced to publicly deny creating the Goatman, because the Goatman's backstory states that there was once a man who was living in the woods practicing science. One of his projects was experimenting on goats, and when that went wrong and backfired, he supposedly then turned into the Goatman. And even to this day, people are still claiming to see reports of him all around Maryland. Let me know if you've ever had an experience with the Goatman, or if you've ever seen him. And if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. Santa Cruz, California is flooded with paranormal activity. So much so that Alfred Hitchcock himself even owned a ranch out there for inspiration. However, this is the story of the lady in white haunting Santa Cruz seeking revenge. She came to Santa Cruz in the 1870s from Massachusetts, forced to marry this drunk German guy. Almost every single night he would force her to put back on her wedding dress, and then he would start to get abusive. She kept finding ways to try and get out of this marriage, and it only made her husband angrier. Then one day when she was trying to escape, he got so mad that he actually brutally murdered her. Then later on, burned the body to get rid of the evidence. It is said that you can still see her walking around Ocean Street trying to seek revenge on her husband. And supposedly the house that they lived in has been torn down, however there is one slab of cement left somewhere in the forest if you are brave enough to find it. Tag a friend who you would find it with, and if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment, let me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. The Dry Creek Running Trail in Modesto, California. Legend has it that the ghost of a heartbroken teenage boy still wanders these woods. Story goes that there was once a boy who fell in love with the local banker's daughter. He knew from the first time he saw her that he immediately wanted to marry her. However, he doubted it would ever really happen because he was very poor and she was very rich. However, one day he saw that she had fallen off her family carriage and was left behind. So he decided to go up to her and help her as best as he could, and at least made her laugh as he was doing so. She immediately fell in love with him as well. However, her father was not really happy with the situation. He told her that she could never see the poor farm boy ever again. And when she had to break the news to him, the poor farm boy got very, very depressed. Not too shortly after that, the boy went to Klaus Road Bridge and decided to jump off head first. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever been to this trail. And as always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked. East 8 Mile Road in Stockton, California is home to a couple of ghosts which thousands of people have seen. The most prominent ghost would have to be the woman in the white tattered dress. She is most commonly seen walking in the middle of the road. However, when people check their rearview mirror to look behind them, she is now sitting in their back seat. There have been occurrences where this has happened and the drivers have been so scared that they lose control of their car and end up crashing, sometimes even dying. The second most prominent ghost that people see down this road is the ghost of a Native American girl who died in an accident. She doesn't seem to cause any harm or bother anybody driving down that road. However, people who live close to that road tend to hear her screaming randomly in the middle of the night. When driving down these roads at night, please bring a friend and be safe. Share this with a friend who you would take down this road with you. And if you want to be featured in the next Urban Legend video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. Holly Highway, located in Oahu, has some very interesting haunted history. And I would also like to apologize in advance if I do pronounce anything wrong. It is said that Pele and the demigod Kamapua had a really bad breakup, and afterwards they agreed to never see each other again. And apparently you cannot take any type of pork down this road, because supposedly it means that you're transferring this demigod from one side of the island to the other. However, if you do, you will see a lady and a dog walking across the street. At that point, your car will start to malfunction, and some even say that their car has shut down entirely. And the only way to continue the drive is if you feed the pork to the woman's dog. Now, this is also going to be a two-parter because there is another one in Hawaii that I really want to talk about, which will be posted very shortly. As always, drop a follow and leave a comment, let me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. Stay spooked. Part 2 of Urban Legends from Hawaii. This one starts on Kaupoa Beach on the island of Molokai. Just to start off, this island was first inhabited back in the 13 to 1500s. Keep in mind that that was just about 700 years ago. The name of this beach actually translates to the place of thieves, due to the fact that it was a natural hideout for people who didn't follow the tribal code. It was later abandoned almost entirely in the 1800s. However, there are a few locals there, but some people say that they refuse to talk to any tourists or visitors. There have also been reports on this island of many people hearing weird noises and seeing lots of strange apparitions. Supposedly there are multiple entities haunting this island, and some are even said to be really evil. It is said that they are there to try and protect and preserve the island as much as possible, which some people claim to believe that that's the reason why there aren't many places to stay on this island. Let me know if you've ever been to this island, and drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. The second oldest asylum in Australia is supposedly one of the most haunted in the world. Later closed in 1995, over 125 years of operation where 9,000 patients have died here. There are so many weird things about this place, but let's start with ghost sightings. One of the most common ghost sightings is a little girl kneeling down in the hallway in the middle of the darkness and then randomly disappears. There's also a spirit of a little boy named Jim, who apparently lots of little kids have been seen randomly talking to when taking ghost tours. And after some research, there was actually a patient named Jim who died here. But honestly, the weirdest part was when searching this place up. I was on their official website and they said they had tours going for October of 2020. However, when I went back to Google search, it said that this place does not exist. As always, don't forget to tag a friend who you would go here with. And if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video, all you have to do is drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is. Stay spooked. These are two very mysterious places in North Carolina that will blow your mind. This first one is known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. For over 300 years, nothing has grown within 40 feet of this circle. Supposedly known as another portal to hell where the devil himself has been known to leap out of. Dogs and other animals refuse to go near this area, and those who are brave enough to actually camp on this circle have had some pretty disturbing experiences. And supposedly anything that is left even near this area will randomly disappear, never to be seen again. The second one is the Brown Mountain Lights. Nobody really knows where it stems from or if it's aliens or ghosts. However, some people believe that they're the ghosts of maidens who have lost their loved ones in a battle that took place here several years ago. One thing is certain, and that is that everybody sees them, however there's no actual explanation for what it is. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. The crazy story of the Chesterville Witch. Chesterville was an old Amish town in Illinois where there lived a witch. The people deemed her to be a witch because she had a very forward way of thinking which they did not like. So they banned her from the community and she disappeared for a while. Everybody was saying that she was making deals with the devil and practicing witchcraft and trying to do harm unto others. However, somebody found her body dead in a field under mysterious circumstances. However, they took her back to the Amish community who said that she died of natural causes, which led a lot of people to believe that the Amish actually killed her. They even put her body on display for a while to show everybody a real-life witch. Since then, she has been buried underneath this tree, believing that this tree binds her to her grave. And legend has it that if this tree ever dies or gets cut down, her soul would be free to finally wander. Lots of people even see her spirit attached to this tree at night when they go to visit her grave. Don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. The Mission Inn and Spa in Riverside, California is a beautiful resort but is also historically haunted. Built in 1878, this beautiful resort is haunted by Frank and Alice Miller, the son and daughter of the original owner. So obviously their rooms on the 4th floor are super haunted. However, other haunted hotspots include the bridal suite, room 215, and the underground catacombs. Some of the most common reports include touching, pulling, pushing, cell phones failing, blue lights, and some people even claim to hear Alice herself singing through the hallways. So if you're looking for a good place to relax and also just chill with some ghosty ghost, this is the place. Share this with a friend who you would go with. Also, drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. This is the lost town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, which Silent Hill was actually based on. Starting off as a mining town back in the 1800s, here are some weird facts about this place. The land literally eats the people and the animals. They have these underground hellfires where the ground will randomly break and swallow anybody or anything that comes near it. The second thing is the church that has survived every fire and every natural disaster that has happened here. But the creepiest thing would probably have to be that the government is trying to erase this town as a whole. They have tried taking away the zip code, and every single time someone tries to buy a house there, they immediately tear it down and just plant trees. And one local resident who lives there says that they even took away all the signs leading to this town. And almost every single person who comes to visit always has a weird story about this place, whether it's something paranormal or just flat out weird. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next video. Stay spooked. America's first female serial killer started in South Carolina in the early 1800s. Her name was Lavinia Fisher. She ran almost like a bed and breakfast for wealthy travelers to come and rest. She first started off by giving the traveler some poisoned tea, and when going to sleep that night, they wouldn't wake up. Each bed had a trap door that would fall to the basement, leaving the corpse on the ground where her husband would rob them, and would ultimately finish them if they were still alive. However, one day a traveler named John came along and didn't drink the tea just because he didn't like the taste. But Lavinia never found out, so when he went to bed tonight, he actually just sat on the edge of it and didn't fall through. When he saw that the bed was a trapdoor, he immediately escaped out the window and told the police. Lavinia and her husband were later hanged in the 1820s, where people say that she still haunts the Charleston jail. What's even creepier is her last words were, "If you have a message you want to send to hell, give it to me and I'll carry it." As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment. Let me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next video. Pilot's Knob Cemetery, the resting place of two unfortunate souls accused of witchcraft. Back in the early 1900s, a mother and daughter were accused of witchcraft and burned alive. The daughter was only 6 years old and buried right here in Pilot's Knob. The townspeople were afraid of her coming back, so they covered her whole entire grave top with cement. They also surrounded her gravesite with a crossed fence. To this day, people say that they can still see the indents in the fence of where she might have tried to escape, while other people say that they can still hear her cries for help. Some people even fear that if you get too close, the girl can actually pull you down into her grave with her and take you to hell. However, personally, I just feel bad for her. I also just made a second account where I post non-horror stuff and just kind of fun, stupid stuff. So if you'd like to follow my personal account as well, I will tag it in the description below. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legends video. Stay spooked. The Biltmore Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island is the most haunted hotel in the state. The first owner of this hotel was a Satanist and practiced rituals inside this hotel and even did on-site sacrifices. This hotel was even a hotspot during Prohibition where many murders took place during these crazy parties. They killed random civilians to police officers and even killed the mayor at one point. It got so bad at one point that the people who were staying at this hotel would even disappear in the middle of the night and never to be found again. In 2008, the owners at the time decided to finally board up the ritual room in the basement. However, modern Satanists say that they actually wanted to keep it open because it was keeping the evil spirits at bay. Let me know if you'd ever stay at this hotel and tag a friend who you'd take with you. As always, don't forget to drop a follow and leave a comment letting me know where your hometown is if you'd like to be featured in the next Urban Legend video. This series might be coming to an end soon, but don't worry because I might pick it up again later. And I have a little surprise for you guys coming soon about hometowns I haven't done yet. So stay tuned and stay spooked. This is the curse of the Devil's Tree in New Jersey. It is an oak tree with dead limbs in an underdeveloped field located in Bernards Township. Legend has it that whoever damages the tree, disrespects the tree, or says anything bad about the tree, supposedly really bad things happen. Some people say that they get cursed, other people say they have a breakdown on the way home, some people even getting into really horrific car accidents on the way back from visiting the tree. What's even weirder is people say that this tree is even hot to the touch. No matter what season it is, no matter what time of day it is, it's always really warm. There's even a chain link fence wrapped around the trunk of the tree just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere or nobody tries to mess with it. Because anybody who's even tried to chop it down has ended up with really unfortunate luck. Even in the wintertime, supposedly any snow that touches the tree immediately evaporates. Let me know if you've ever been here before down in the comments below and if you've ever seen anything weird. Or tag a friend who you would go with and let me know if you would go. Stay spooked. Probably one of the most popular haunted houses in the United States is located in Long Island, New York. We are talking about the Amityville Horror House. November 13th, 1974, 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his 4 siblings and his 2 parents. He told the police that there were voices inside that house that convinced him to do so, and now he is serving 6 consecutive life sentences at a correctional facility. It is also believed that this house was built on a burial ground and was once linked to a guy named John Ketchum, supposedly a man who was the leader of a murdering cult. And this is just the mere beginning of this story. And in December of 1975, the Lutz family decided to move in at a shockingly cheap price of $80,000. Mind you, this was only 1 year after the brutal murders. However, this family only lived in this house for 28 days. What they experienced in this house is absolutely insane and will be in part 2, posted in literally 2 seconds. The true story of the Amityville Horror House Part 2. So the Lutz family moved in December of 1975 and only stayed for a mere 28 days. In that month, they experienced weird paranormal activities such as green slime oozing from the walls and weird demonic pigs lurking around. They also saw eyes peering into the house from all the windows, hearing unexplainable noises, and even smelling really foul, bizarre odors. The wife would appear to be levitating in her sleep, and the husband would wake up every single night at 3:15 in the morning, which is the exact time of the murders. The last straw was when they had a priest come in and bless their home, and that is when a weird entity came out of nowhere, slapped him in the face, and told him to get out. Now, in the late 80s, people believed this to be a hoax, saying that the husband was purposely trying to summon stuff just to get attention. It was said that the family was in a huge debt and was just trying to get a movie deal. However, the kids of the Lutz family said that the hauntings were all too real. Let me know your opinion down in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a follow for more.